Present.
Councilman Woodford.
Present.
Mayor Swallow.
Here.
Vice Mayor Epps. Councilman Albright. Here. 4 present, 1 absent.
Thank you. Would everyone please stand for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. All right. Consider approval of agenda as presented. Do we have any additions or subtractions from the agenda?
No change.
All right. Seeing none, do we have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
I'll vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right. Consider approval of the minutes of last council meeting held March 7th, 2013. Motion for approval for the minutes.
So moved.
Second.
I'll vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right. Item 3. Consider on second and final reading Ordinance 130203, amendments to the official street map. Sponsors Mr. James Mills.
Mayor and council members, this ordinance would amend the street map to add several streets as a result of annexation, the construction of one street, and also reflects one street name change. We've had no calls or comments since first reading.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments from the council? You did say no calls since the last
No
meeting?
calls or comments.
All right. Seeing none, I'll vote.
4 yes votes,
Thank
motion
you.
carries.
Thank you. All right, on to new business. Item 4. Consider Resolution 130302, approving a name change for the Cookeville Housing Authority. Sponsors Mr. Jim Shipley.
Mayor, this is, we were approached by Mr. Dow Harris, Cookeville Housing Authority. I thought I saw him here. He must have left.
Right there.
There you are. Dow, would you like to say a few words?
Oh, I can, Jim.
Microphone. I said a few words now, Dow.
Yes, sir.
Please keep it to 3 minutes.
I can assure you, I'm here just in support of this resolution. And we did approach Jim here recently. Part of our strategic planning is we've changing our image, reflecting a more positive, if I can say, happy image for public housing, and not only just for Cookeville, but we're regional, and we done a major survey through Dr. Farr's office at TTU, and one of the things we found out there was a lot of these surrounding towns that we support with this program, they kind of feel left out or whatever, but we felt the Highlands picks that up, and we want to expand and provide housing services to the entire Highlands region. And again, it's really just to improve our image, make things better, cast a more positive light on public housing and the program that we have. And again, I'm here to just Jim sponsoring this resolution. We appreciate that. And I'll answer any questions, or I'll sit down.
I've got a quick question.
Yes, sir.
This is
Oh,
a historic.
do we have to put a motion on the floor before we discuss it? Or I guess not. I don't know.
If there's going to be a whole lot of discussion, it'd be a good idea. But if
Yeah, that's true.
I just have a question for you on the name change. As far how did it, did this start out just doing housing for Cookeville? How did it ranch? Because you go to Gainesboro,
Yes, sir.
Salina, Monterey. Was this originally funded just for Cookeville, or how did Cookeville Housing become a regional?
Actually, that's a good question, and to answer that, the forefathers back in the late 40s, early 50s, the organization was actually chartered, organized in 1952, and they had some insight. And it was actually set up in a regional capacity covering Putnam, Jackson, and Clay counties.
Okay.
Because those were the counties in the target area. And it was actually set up from a regional perspective by the council at that time as the appointing authority. And the plans were already made and discussed by that original Dale Bradshaw, I want to say Walter Keith Crawford, H.S. Barnes, and those gentlemen. And they had these plans in consulting with HUD to build these developments across these three counties. So, it's 33-1, 33-2, 33 all the way through 33-14, which takes us from Cookeville, the original 1, 2, 3 went to Monterey, 4 was never built, 5 went to Gainsborough, 6 brought us back to Cookeville. So it was originally planned that way by this council back in the late 40s, early 50s.
Okay.
It's interesting.
Yes, sir. Very good question.
Any other questions?
And that is the Highlands Residential Services. That's
Highlands Residential Services, and this is something it was thought out very thoroughly. We've been planning this now for over a year with W.D. Stone and Associates. Our board's been strategically planning, and the image question was something that's really been seriously looked at. The expansion of resident services, and we're more than just housing now. We're doing all these self-supporting, educational, job training, aftercare, the TNT program, and we want to still do that. The primary thing is bricks and mortar, but residential services. The Highlands Initiative is to cover the regional design and keep that regional. Housing carried some stigmatism with it nationally and across our state and our community. So residential, and then the services package to represent, the mixed bag of services, not just a roof over these people's head, but also the supportive services to again get them in, get them up on their feet and get them back out in society. So that's the name they came up with. This board of commissioners that this commission and the mayor appoints, this is the name that they selected, and it's been thought out and planned through, and we're ready to roll this out. I'll have a press release for the press if y'all do in fact give us the authority to proceed. Our board will take action following your action in April, and we're long wait logos, signage, letterhead. Just a whole new facelift and a new look for public housing in our community.
Okay.
We feel very good about it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Harris. Anything else? We have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
All right, any other questions? All right, all vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Mr. Harris, I like the fact that you guys put services in there because it is more than housing. Your after-school program, I think, is pretty popular. I think with the assistance of the police department, too.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And we felt that was important, too. Thank you.
All right, item 5. Consider for approval, S3 Enterprise License Agreement for all city departments. Sponsors Mr. James Mills.
Mayor and council members, our annual ESRI license agreement is up for renewal this year. This agreement covers all city departments for their GIS functions and includes unlimited access for desktop, extensions, and server software. The cost for renewal is actually $35,000, and it's divided among the utilities at $7,500 each, and the general department paying $12,500. For this year, the electric department has requested an ARC pad extension for mobile access utilizing GPS units, which is an additional cost of $750, which would bring the electric department share up to $8,250. This is a budgeted item, and I would request your approval.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. We have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Question, comments?
And by doing this, there's going to be a savings, right, for the city?
Yes, a couple of years ago we looked at this, and the departments were doing this individually, and plus we had very limited access on the number of people who could actually get onto the system. This is much more cost efficient, and we have unlimited access in terms of employees who can actually utilize the GIS and other desktop functions that this provides.
So bottom line, we're saving money, right?
No. Anytime we can.
Yeah. All right. Anything else? I'll vote.
Thank you.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you, Mr. Mills. Item 6, consider appointment to the Cookeville Tree Board. Julia Lowe, who was placed into nomination and approved by the City Council in October 2012, has resigned her position. And on behalf of the Cookeville Tree Board, I would like to submit Leslie Sullins as nominated for the remaining vacant position. Have a motion for approval?
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments?
We're always glad when people want to help the city by serving on these various boards.
We've been very fortunate to have people step up on the different boards. Each of us have asked different people in the community to serve on, and she's an excellent choice, and very glad that she's decided to do so.
All right. All vote.
4 yes votes, motion carries.
All right. Item 7. Consider awarding bid for Poplar Grove Area Waterline Extension Project. Sponsors Water Quality Control Department, Mr. Ronnie Kelly.
Mayor and council, we have taken bids and opened those bids for the Poplar Grove, Mount Pleasant Road Waterline Project. And it's been going on for so long, I thought I'd do a little summation of the timeline to sort of get everybody how long this has been taking place. Approximately in '99, I think we were first approached about water service for part of the Mount Pleasant Road area. And at that time, the city ordinance required the customers to bear all that cost if you're outside the city limits. And so it sort of churned along a little bit, but between 99 and 05, private individuals installed about 3,650 feet of water line on Mount Pleasant and Bohannon Lane out there. Jerry Jones, the guy that used to have the Circle K, was instrumental in that, and Debbie Norris, and so they ran some of that line. And then it kept going on, and there was other individuals wanted some extensions of water line extended, and kept going back to the city ordinance about they were required to pay for that cost. And then there was a preliminary agreement worked out in about the year 2007 with the current council, and that sort of ended up falling through. 2008, the Putnam County Commission formed a committee to study how to serve public water to the Mount Pleasant, Poplar Grove Road area and other areas in this county that didn't have water. Anna Ruth Burrows may have been. Were you on that committee? She was a commissioner out in that area. I know Johnny Wheeler was, and so they were. A lot of that was there was a lot of meetings taking place trying to figure out how we were going to do it, trying to get grant money at the time. Found out, went through all those gyrations, weren't eligible for grants. Then coming on into the future, 2012, this council requested that we budget money in our budget funds to go ahead and install that section that we felt like the city could serve out there. So that's how we got to where we are. And this is the project area where the project's going to take place. This was the amount of lines and where they're going to be located. The bids, received quite a few bids. The low bidder being Hall Construction Incorporated, $458,527.50, and we would recommend the low bidder.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly. We have a motion for approval.
So moved.
Second.
Questions, comments from the council?
What will the residents be required to pay? What will be their responsibility out there?
The project's going to put in, there's currently around 28 structures out there that we can determine. And so, but we're going to put in about 55 meter boxes where we think building probably might take place. So we'll put those boxes in as the contractor goes. And then the homeowner would come into our office and purchase a water meter and apply for service just like you would anywhere else. And we would come out and install the meter, turn the service on, and activate the service. Those meters out there outside the city limits is $1,300 if they want a 5/8 inch meter. It's $1,500 if they want a 1-inch meter.
Are you familiar with this construction company and their
Yes,
history?
they've done several jobs for us in the past and done good work. They just completed the Bell Acre pump station renewal where we rebuilt completely that station and did it and didn't have any issues. And they've been around a long time, done a lot of work for the city.
A lot of questions. I got a comment. There's a lot of work been done on this for years. I would say more so from the county's level than from the city. I'm just glad that this council was able to work something out. Anna Ruth out in the audience and Johnny Wheeler have spent a lot of time and effort. You need to be recognized for your hard work on this. We're glad we're able to contribute to your district and being a good neighbor and funding this for you and putting it part of our budget.
Anything else?
I think that pretty well covered my comments.
Yeah.
Well, I do appreciate all the hard work that Anna Ruth and Johnny Wheeler did, and Terry Randolph too, who's.
Yeah, Terry Randolph's been
But I know it's frustrating
involved
for
lately.
those that worked on it for so many years, but we really did try to get grants, and we tried to develop a plan where the potential customers would pay so much, and we just never could get anything to work.
Yeah, and this council changed the ordinance to give you guys the authority to be able to do this.
That makes a difference.
What's the timetable on this?
It's a 5-month project. We think it'll take shorter than that, but they all have 5 months, 150 days.
Any idea when they plan to start?
He's ready to start quickly.
As soon as
He's
weather's okay.
finishing up a job. He's talked to our engineer on staff, and he's ready to get going.
All right. Anything from the audience?
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
If you wouldn't mind to come to the
Microphone so they
Microphone,
can hear you on
please.
television. You're going to be on TV.
Great. I just want to thank you all for approving this and for the work that you're going to be doing in Poplar Grove. The citizens in that area have waited a very, very long time, and there's a tremendous need, and so I want to tell you how much we appreciate you doing this.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Ronnie, thank you for the timeline, by the way, to kind of
Yeah,
address.
because it's been going on.
Yeah.
I had to pull my file out, and it's thick.
Very thick file.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Any other questions, comments? All right. Seeing none, all vote.
4
Thank you.
yes votes, motion carries.
Thank you. All right, this is the portion of the program we'd like to open the floor to hearing of citizens and/or delegations. If anybody would like to come forward and speak, ask questions, we just ask that you limit it to 3 minutes if you would. State your name prior to getting started so we'd know who you are. Anyone? All right, I think we have a couple of Boy Scout troops here tonight. I think Boy Scout Troop 196, is that correct? Would you guys please stand? And are you working on your merit badge? Is that what it is? Yes, sir. All right, and also Boy Scout Troop 108. Is that all right? Would you guys mind standing up? All right, thanks for coming. Sorry it's a quick meeting, but thank you for coming. They're not all this quick. And if you guys would love to come forward and say anything, please feel free. Thanks for coming, though. We appreciate everything you guys are doing.
I always appreciate the Boy Scouts coming, and any young group or any group of young people. But one of the things that I think is so great about the Boy Scouts of America and also Girl Scouts of America is that outside of the school building, they study government and civics, and I think that's so important for all American citizens to know about our government and to know about the responsibilities and the rights of being a citizen of the United States of America. So that always does the history teacher's heart proud.
Anything else? All right. This meeting is adjourned.